Hi, Sweetpea.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
How are you?
I'm kind of fluctuating at the moment, but we have talked a lot about it because obviously we talked about the difficulties and the emotions of going away from home and being away from home, from the safe space.
You have separation anxiety like the dog gets.
I have separation anxiety. I do, but I think it's been really helpful that we've chatted about it a lot because there was one week where I just decided to kind of be all cold with you and just to try and shut everything out, shut all emotions out.
Yeah.
And kind of get on with life. And that then just kind of, it all boiled up and then came out afterwards. And at the moment, I feel like I'm getting more homesick than I was in the first week, which is just really annoying. It's like, that's not fair.
No, but it can happen. And that did happen to me.
Yeah.
It didn't happen immediately. No. And then suddenly it hit me. And it happened to your grandfather as well.
It did.
Homesickness is such a weird thing.
It's
Sickness
awful.
Is the right way to describe it. It's like an illness that comes on when you least expect it. And everything can be completely fine. And you feel this homesickness. And then it will just go at some point, and you've just got to hang on in there. The only medicine for it is time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So
and eating healthily, Sweetpea, getting your nutrition healthily. And getting your sleep.
Yeah.
The two things you need. Exactly.
Which I need to kind of keep up with because being at medical school, it's all about work. It's
very intense, isn't it?
It's kind of like, forget about the sleep and the eating, just work.
Yeah.
But obviously you have to sleep and eat, otherwise you are not going to function. And that is like the basics of medicine.
I'd like you to eat and sleep, please.
Yeah, I will be.
Anyway,
so I've kind of had it fluctuating throughout the days, and I'll just have like these really sad moments. You've told me to do the whole kind of 5 things I'm grateful for.
Do that every day.
To look at always the positives, just to try and get through it. Anyways, and I was getting on the bus to go to uni this at midday because I have lectures in the afternoons, and I was really sad, like really sad, and I tried not to cry. I'm going to try not to cry now.
Oh no, sweetie pie.
And I got on the bus, and then I just thought, right, I need to think of all the happy things, all the things that kind of make me smile. And I thought, first of all, I need to smile because that's not helping.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till I make it. So I got to uni and I met up with some of the friends that I've made, and I just asked them about their weekend and made some awesome jokes, obviously.
Did you? Because you're really funny.
I'm really funny.
That's one thing to be grateful for.
Yeah.
How awesomely funny you are.
Very witty. No, I'm so bad at it. Anyways, and then in lectures, I tried to see all the positives about what we were talking about. So we have physiology today, for example.
Very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very interesting. We had the most hilarious teacher.
Oh, good.
And he would, oh gosh, I felt really, really bad about this. At one point he said, humans can stock a huge amount of lipids, glucids, all the fats, really. We can stock a huge amount compared to other mammals, other beings on Earth. And he said, we come pretty much just behind the blue whale.
I thought he was going to say the brown bear, because they do well when they stock up ready for hibernation.
Yeah, they do. Anyways, he said, we come just behind the blue whale, to be honest. And he said, obviously, then also my mother-in-law. And I just...
He did not pull a mother-in-law joke.
He pulled a mother-in-law joke, and the amphitheatre
terrible.
went wild. And I thought it was so funny, because I thought poor mothers-in-laws get it
all
in
the
the
stick,
neck
don't they?
constantly. Even the plant which is called mother-in-law's tongue.
Yes. That's not
Which is what I immediately thought about. And
I wonder if he pulls that joke out every year with every new batch of students coming in.
I think so. One of my mates, he said, oh yeah, one of the old students told me how he does a lot of mother-in-law jokes. So I thought, okay,
Great.
I'm going to need to get ready for that.
You've got lots to look forward to then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, that keeps you all awake.
Yeah, that keeps you awake.
And that's a reason to be grateful.
Anyway, so I looked at the positives in that, and then even on the bus, I'm not sure if you've ever seen this on buses. Because obviously now I take the bus everywhere. I'm a bus. Boss bit.
You're a boss bitch. You are a bus bitch.
That's not what I wanted to come out, but yeah, we'll go with that.
It doesn't sound as good as boss bitch. I think we need to come up with something else.
Yeah, I'm a bus. Yeah, who knows? Anyways, on the buses, you can get buses where it's kind of like really long, and in the middle section, they kind of have
The
this
bendy
kind of
bits?
almost joint. And I've seen other people, you can stand in the middle bit,
Yeah.
and people have to kind of move their feet as it rotates in the centre. I thought, oh, that looks fun.
Did you get up and stand there?
Not by choice,
Yeah.
because there were no other seats. But I stood there and I had the absolute time of my life on the ride of the way
Time of
home.
my life.
Spinning around trying to stay upright whilst
Good.
the thing spun around all the
Oh,
roundabouts.
sweetie pie. You should do that every time. Every time you're bussing it.
Every time I'm passing it. So that was a highlight of my day.
Yeah.
So
Another
that's what I'm
highlight
doing.
has been all the really kind birthday messages you got, Sweetpea.
Oh
for your
my
18th.
gosh, this was lovely.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of nice comments on Instagram, lots of nice messages and emails. That was really sweet. Thank you.
It really did mean a lot because I spent my whole 18th birthday at uni in lectures.
Feeling sad.
Feeling pretty down about life. And when I got all those messages, it was just really, really nice to read them all. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what's been going on in the garden, Sweetie Pie, whilst you've been away.
Yes.
The sage issue that continues.
Oh,
I still don't know what to do with having too much sage. So what I did was I made a pesto with it.
Oh. Oh, how is that?
Well, it was
Very
interesting.
That's never the thing you want to hear.
I made it with walnuts and olive oil, obviously, lemon juice.
Yeah.
Oh, and Parmesan cheese, I think I put in. I can't remember which cheese I used now. But then I decided it needed a sweetness to it, so I added beetroot. And that actually was really nice. And then I used that on top of some salmon, on top of some fish, and cooked it with that. It was very, very nice. And then I've also had it inside an omelette.
Oh my!
Because I've got a lot of this sage pesto.
I can imagine the size of the bush. You've created quite a big pot of that stuff.
Yes. So we need to find other uses for the
I
sage.
want to try that.
It's very good for getting rid of evil spirits, isn't it? So we could sort of waft it around the place. Maybe you need some in your apartment. Shall I try and smuggle some in?
Try and smuggle some to my apartment.
Anyway,
no, thanks.
Also, your Verbena bonariensis is doing very well. It's magnificently tall. Some might say ridiculously so. And it's in completely the wrong place and it looks daft as anything. But it's always full of bees and butterflies. It's always full. And you wouldn't believe it because when I go outside with the camera, they act as if it's some sort of police raid or scarper. I don't know what they're actually up to. So I get some very blurred photos. But the other one, and I did send you a photo of this, is the Caryopteris, which is just as it does every year at this time of year, September, it's full of bees.
Yeah.
Buzzing around bees and also hoverflies, flies.
Yes.
All sorts are going on. Wasps.
Everything. It is really quite amazing. I remember last year when I saw it.
And
it's
colour.
Quite pretty, yeah.
It's really pretty.
It's really
almost
pretty.
like little candelabras of purple.
Exactly. And it's kind of bluey purple as well, which I quite like. I think, to be honest, it will be in my top 5 ornamentals.
Oh, it's definitely in my top 5 ornamentals.
Oh, no, you can't take that from me. Don't make me sad. Don't make me sad.
Okay, I'll have it as a special mention.
Okay, cool.
We also have loads of purple beans, so I've been picking those, chopping them up and freezing them so you can have those next time you're back. Your tomatoes are doing well. Some look a bit ropey.
Yeah, they always do this. And I don't know if anyone has any top tips about this. I really would like to know because I found this last year. And from the photos that you sent me, they've done exactly the same thing. Just at the end of the season, and you're like, oh, yes, they're going red finally. Then suddenly, they all start kind of getting that zigzag line through them. The leaves start going all droopy, almost black. The underside gets black of them.
On the actual tomato?
On the tomato, yeah.
Or the end rod?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even that, actually. It's just sort of
They go gnarly.
Yeah, gnarly.
Before
really.
getting ripe.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for them.
There was no point I could have picked them.
No.
Before they then just went straight from unripe to gnarly.
To kind of gnarly and gruesome.
But I do still pick them and then I chop around the gnarly bits and get some.
Yeah. They're still tasty.
I'm getting some. I also found the most enormous courgette bordering on marrow status, but got it just in time.
Was that the photo you sent me? The selfie? Yeah, so this is what happens. Can I just tell any other kids out there, if you have parents who are into gardening, when you go off to uni, be ready for them to be sending you photos, smiling,
with the courgette
selfie,
next to their head.
thumbs up, and a courgette going, look at this one.
And
I had to hide it when I was looking at it so that no one else would see what my mum was sending me.
And your patty pans.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They're looking fine.
They are fine,
Looking fine. So that's everything in our garden.
Very nice.
We had a little bit of housekeeping from 2 weeks ago now, isn't it?
2 weeks. Oh my gosh.
And
yes.
we're missing out on next week as well. So it's a bit of a patchy month for garden as well.
Means we're not going to be here again till 2 weeks' time.
I think that's also why you have separation anxiety, because you're not getting your full quota of Gardener's World.
No. Okay. You know what? I'm blaming Gardener's World.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about how Trachycarpus has that blue underside of the leaf, and we were wondering why it did. I have a little explanation for you here, Sweetpea. The blue tinted underside of a Trachycarpus is caused by a waxy substance that the leaf produces. This wax coating helps protect the leaf and can be a prominent blue on some species, such as the Trachycarpus princeps.
Good to know, actually. It's always quite interesting to see because you get the slight farina on some plants for certain protection, UV light, all these kind of slight coats. They always do some form of protection.
So would you like some nature news?
Absolutely.
Well, first up, and I did send this to you, but so this is really more for the benefit of our listener.
What was this?
Layla Robinson's incredible everlasting flower creation.
Oh my gosh, yes, the bird. Utterly stunning.
If anyone hasn't seen this, I really do recommend going to Layla's social media pages. Her Instagram is Layla Robinson Design. It's called A Bird of Peace, and it's just the most spectacular kind of ethereal sculpture made from dried flowers of this bird. And the way it's positioned, she made it for the Fairy Tale Castle Flower Festival at Strawberry Hill House for this weekend that's just gone.
Yeah.
And they've placed it in the most perfect room for it, where this light kind of falls on it as if it's going,
oh. I know, it was perfectly picture framed between these huge kind of bay windows almost.
Yeah, it was kind of a bay or a curved wall of the room. And it was on this podium right in the centre of it, and it was perfectly framed. It had beautiful light on it. And the base has a load of real frothiness to it. She's managed to put flowers that look like they're just suspended in midair.
Yes, that's just amazing.
It's like nothing I've seen before. And it's in very sort of muted, neutral colours.
Yeah, kind of just golden.
Yeah, unbelievable. She is so talented, isn't she?
She's so talented.
So have a look at it on her social media page, Instagram. I'll put a link to it on our website so you can find it quickly there.
Yeah, of course. Great.
Now, there's Yo Valley Organic Garden Festival this coming weekend, the 18th to 20th of September, and Frances will be there. She'll be talking about how there's no right or wrong way to garden, which is good news.
Oh, that's always good news.
That's in Bristol. I'll put a link to it. It's the garden.festival at yovalleyfarms.co.uk.
Cool.
Do you remember the other week I spoke about that young girl who won prizes for her amazing invention? And I think the bit you probably only focused on was her getting a Lego model.
Of course,
Lego
that's the only part I focused on.
Well, here's another amazing invention by a young human. In 2013, at the age of 15,
oh no.
What?
Makes me feel older again.
Oh, do you feel inadequate now?
Inadequate at 18. I'm not creating worldwide inventions.
That's something else to be upset about on the bus.
Oh no. Oh, it's a vicious circle.
And for any further parenting advice, come to me.
Yes, do come to
how to look after your daughter with separation anxiety.
She boshes it.
Ann Makosinski. She invented a torch which relies on body heat to power it. And her inspiration, I think she's half Polish, half Filipino, and so she's got friends and family in the Philippines. And her inspiration for it came when a friend from the Philippines told her that she had failed a class in school because she didn't have any electricity at home, and so she couldn't study at night.
Oh my gosh.
So that was her inspiration for it. And she ended up getting first place at both the Google Science Fair and Intel Science and Engineering Fair. And she also showed her invention on The Tonight Show, with Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
You like, don't you?
Yeah,
she's
cool.
given 3 TEDx talks. She was on Time Magazine's 30 Under 30 World Changers list, all before she finished high school. Anyway, so this device, it relies on the thermoelectric effect using Peltier tiles, and it's basically able to harvest residual thermal energy to create, a useful power for something else. So she's adapting that for her next invention, which is a mug. So a mug with your hot tea or coffee in it. It's obviously giving off heat. That's thermal energy.
Yes.
And so she's using that residual heat to create energy to charge your phone or your tablet or earphones or whatever. Isn't that amazing?
How cool is that?
That would be really cool to have a mug that could do that.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, she sounds like a dude.
She's an absolute dude.
She sounds amazing.
As you say, she's boshing it.
She is boshing it.
Here's not such a good piece of news.
Oh, no.
Do you remember all those masks that you had to wear that were obligatory for you to wear at school?
Oh, my gosh. They were the humongous pain.
Yeah.
Ever.
They caused you a lot of trouble, didn't they? And a lot of kids, I think
a lot of skin problems I had after that.
You had skin problems. I think also they caused a bit of a barrier when it came to learning because it's hard to learn when you can't see your mouth moving, for example.
Yeah. You can fall asleep so easily.
Well, there's that.
In the lessons, because the sound's coming from nowhere.
Well, an estimated 129 billion were being used every month around the world at the height of the pandemic.
No.
And not only that, there was zero recycling plan for them. So as a consequence, millions of tons of plastic face masks are now basically around the planet breaking down. We've seen them in the oceans. We see them wherever we go for walks. We can even be somewhere quite remote and we'll see a mask crop
that's
up.
A good point.
And they're releasing all these microplastics and also some chemical additives, including various endocrine disruptors.
No.
There's an article which I'll post a link to, which says, as a result, the very equipment whose use was intended to protect people during the pandemic now poses a risk to the health of people and planet, potentially for generations. There's Anna Bogush of Coventry University. She's at the Centre for Agroecology, Water and Resilience, and she's been carrying out this research on them. And she says that every mask they examined leached microplastics. So they tried, various different ones. So I guess the ones that were okay were the cotton ones that we ended up getting you.
Yes, those were good. Those are better.
But all those disposable ones.
Oh, I had loads of those at the beginning.
Yeah, they leached microplastics, but it was also the FFP2 and FFP3 masks. Those are the ones that were marketed as kind of the gold standard protection against COVID. They leached the most. They released 4 to 6 times as many of those microplastics. And even more worrying are the chemicals that I mentioned. So the chemical analysis of the leachate found medical masks also released bisphenol B, which is an endocrine disrupting chemical. So it acts like estrogen when absorbed into the bodies of humans and animals.
Shiza.
A bit of a concern what the knock-on effect is going to be.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Also, you talked just then about medical masks, and I was like, oh, crikey, of course.
For you.
I might be wearing those masks all the time, actually.
But they have some sort of process, don't they, with all medical equipment? So because they'll be contaminated, they're going to have some process for handling those, which always amazed me about the masks, because if they're trapping the virus, then the masks
then they're contaminated,
should be contaminated. So shouldn't we be getting rid of those in the same way? But anyway,
that's a very good point. I have no idea. I'll be looking into that, actually.
I'd be interested to know, Sweetpea. Now then, Morgan Freeman, you remember him? He was in Shawshank Redemption.
Of course I know who Morgan Freeman is.
Yeah, he does voiceovers for so much. Most beautiful voice ever, I think.
Most beautiful voice, most beautiful face as well.
Well, he has converted his 124-acre ranch into a giant honeybee sanctuary to save the bees.
Really?
Isn't that gorgeous? He's talked on various chat shows about it, about the need really to provide for bees and how important they are to keeping the planet turning, really.
Just honeybees or all bees?
He's focusing on honeybees because he's basically put his money where his mouth is by, on his land, he imported 26 beehives from Arkansas to his ranch in Mississippi. And he's planted his ranch up with all these bee-friendly plants like lavender, magnolia, clover, that kind of thing. So obviously that benefits all other bees, but he's got the hives specifically for honeybees.
Okay.
And he feeds all the bees as well. And he doesn't harvest the honey. He leaves them for the bees.
Oh.
So the beehives for the bees, basically a home.
Entirely for the bees. Oh, lovely.
He doesn't disrupt them in any way. The only thing he does is feed them and plant for them. So he never wears a bee suit or a bee hat. And he's never been stung.
Oh, that's lovely. He's got a proper relationship with them.
Yeah. Well, I guess also because he's not taking the honey. So
no, they just
see him as one of the good guys.
Exactly. He's just always coming and giving, not ever taking.
Isn't that a nice story? It's nice to know Morgan Freeman
lovely story.
Is as nice as he comes across.
I know. That's always the worry, isn't it? You've got all these celebrities and you're like, oh, do you think they're nice in real life?
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, never.
So that's my nature news. Some good news, some not so good news.
Nice. What was the name that we were going to call it again?
I don't know.
What was the name?
You came up with something.
I came up with a name. Oh, No Way News.
You want me to call it No Way News?
Yes, I want you to call it No Way News.
Okay. Will that make you happier on the bus?
Yes.
Okay.
We have No Way News coming up.
I will call it No Way News.
It's No Way News.
Sweetie Pie, tell me your plant fun fact.
My plant fun fact is about gnomes. The good old garden gnomes.
Yes.
Which are loved by some and disliked by some. Apparently quite an equal amount of people love and hate them. So I find them quite funny. They're very cool. Wow. I also really love the film Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes.
Okay.
So both films very good, must be watched by everybody. Anyways.
That's not your fun fact though, is it?
No.
You must watch this film.
You must watch this film. No. It's just about how... Did you know that they kind of originated in the Black Forest in Germany?
No, I didn't.
In the 1800s. And they were actually seen as kind of little folk.
They are little folk.
They are little folk, aren't they? But they were kind of a kind fairy who apparently would kind of help out in the mines and on the farms for anyone, just kind of give that joy. So
sweet.
Yeah, exactly. And then the amount of gnomes kind of fluctuated in the world. So there were kind of more at certain times, popularity.
Yeah.
And now there is an estimated 25 million gnomes just in Germany.
Oh, I thought you were going to say worldwide. Just in Germany.
Just in Germany.
Oh, sweet. Oh, why cute. Not though? That makes
why
you
not?
Happy.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm not
own.
Hugely keen on them. I do find them funny to look
I
at.
think they're funny. I also think it's a live and let live thing, isn't it?
Of course,
because I'm not really into them and somebody else is. That's all
exactly.
Good. I do remember a story. This is when I was younger, probably in my teens or 20s. There was a story about someone who nicked this elderly gentleman's gnomes. Or gnome, and took it around the world and sent photos back of the gnome in front of a beach in Bali or the gnome in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my god.
And sent it to the owner of the gnome and then returned the gnome at the end of its worldwide trip.
Oh, and returned it. Oh. Now that's a nice story. I'd be very happy for someone to take the garden gnome and do that. Lovely story.
Sweetpea, having a quick animal fun fact.
Yes, what is it?
Too much already. Polar bears can swim for up to 9 days without stopping.
9 days?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, now that is endurance, mate.
That's endurance, mate.
That is very, very cool.
Well, on that note, shall we have a look at this episode of Gardener's World?
Absolutely.
This is Gardener's World 2025, episode 24 recap.
Off we go.
Monty's in his veg patch. He's talking about his Florence fennel.
Yeah, always talking about how they're sensitive. Gosh. He always talks about them being sensitive. And I'm like, so why do you grow them?
Yeah, he did say they were doing all right, though, didn't he?
Yeah, and they looked really good as well.
Yeah. Burpee's golden beetroot?
Yes, Burpee golden beetroot was in another bed. Mm-hmm. That was underneath the corn. That was also very nice.
Yeah. 1 cob per plant because it's been so hot. Normally gets 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what happens with us. Your sweet corn isn't.
It's bad.
Is it Indian sweet corn?
Indian festive popcorn mix.
It doesn't look very good.
It doesn't.
I sent you a photo, didn't I?
You did. And I think it's purely the kind of aesthetic. There is nothing there.
I think so.
The plants were quite pretty, but yeah.
I won't be doing them next year.
I'd be interested to see how other people got on with them.
Yes. And then he's in his writing garden and talks about his dog shed being a new potting shed. It's all a bit of a mess from the move, the writing garden.
Gosh,
so he's taking the opportunity. Yeah, you know what that's like. Taking the opportunity to put in some new plants. So which plants was he doing?
Once again, all in the white tones. So he had Astrantia shaggy, Cranby cordifolia, white valerian, and Helichrysum petulari.
It was interesting because he was taking a few gambles, wasn't he, with his plants, because the Helichrysum's not fully hardy, fine to about -5. And the Astrantia, doesn't that need free draining soil? And he says it gets very soggy in that area. So
yeah, he was taking quite a few gambles, which I thought was great to see, actually.
Yeah,
because
interesting.
Usually he has the perfect plant, right place, knows exactly what it needs.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, he's got some plants where he's like, oh, I like them and I want them here, so I'm going to put them here.
You will work. Then we're with the wonderful Toby. He's visiting Corsley House in Warminster, Wiltshire.
Oh my gosh, this was amazing.
Stunning. Really stunning, real attention to detail. Toby described it as more than a garden divided into rooms. It's a place of creativity and colour, and it really was stunning. And we could see those rooms. We had the fantastic drone shots that we always go on about.
We love the drone shots.
I'd like that really on every garden, even the small ones, because I can never quite picture the small ones. So there's one towards the end I could have done with a drone shot. But.
Yeah, because the small ones usually have created little areas so that it feels bigger. Exactly. And so you just can't tell how they're kind of
put it together. Yeah. So this is the home of Keith Johnson and his husband Glenn Senk. They have been at this place for 8 years, so not very long, and it looks incredible. Yeah. And I don't think it had any of this set up before they came.
It had very little with the kind of early on photos that we saw.
Yeah. Keith was in the retail world, so he loves to create intrigue and he loves it to look so that you're always kind of drawn to the next thing.
Yeah,
and he's always done that in retail, and he was recreating that in the garden, and he likes also bringing a lot of architectural elements to the garden.
Yeah, I mean, there were things which were so embellished, like the fruit cages and the hedges, and even the paths. The specific intricacy of the mosaics. And
I loved those paths. They weren't just a path. They had a design going on in them. Really, really lovely. Yeah. There was a design element to everything that they did. We have a friend who's an interior designer, and she said, I never put anything in my house that I don't love to look at.
Wow.
So just getting a bog standard set of shelves from IKEA, she wouldn't do that because she doesn't love to look at that. It would be something from she's obviously got a bit of money, so she can get it from somewhere more expensive than IKEA. But yeah, I get the feeling with Keith and Glenn that's, they want to really enjoy beauty and everything that they have around them.
Absolutely. And I was completely knocked off my seat when I saw this, because there were just things I had never seen before. There are some stately gardens which look just kind of what you would expect for a stately garden. So the rooms, the sections, some hedges, a bit of topiary.
Yeah.
But there was, do you know what I mean? There was this extra oomph to it. There was an extra wow
everything.
Factor.
Everywhere you look.
That I absolutely loved the kind of huge monster of yew hedge, which circled this patch of, I think, just a lawn area. But the way the hedge was kind of undulating around.
Wavy. So you had the undulating hills as the far layer, then you had the undulating hedge, and then this undulating lawn, which I've never seen before.
I know.
I don't know, given our desire to get somewhere flat, I think I would be devastated if someone did that to my flat lawn. I don't need that in my life. I don't want to walk to the other end. I'd like to be able to walk from one end of my garden to the other without having to watch my step. Do you know what I mean? On that, you can't just breeze along in a nice wafty summer dress, looking all romantic and lovely. You'd be walking like,
I could so see you just going down Can't see you. Coming back up. Can't see you. Go back down.
Or
me on my tractor going, whee!
But it would take you forever to get to the other end of the garden.
Up and down.
No, I love to look at it, and I love it being in
pretty,
Keith and Glenn's garden, but I couldn't cope with that. I'm aiming for flat in my old age.
I would have a lot of fun with that. I would love it.
Yes, all right, your young adult stage in life. But
I trip over my own feet all the time. Is true. How do you think I'm meant to walk across that?
This is so true.
I did it only the other day.
Sticks. Oh gosh, no hope.
No. What do you think I'm going to be as an old person if I'm already like this now? Let's not even talk about
Sweetpea.
that.
Let's one step at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the garden. We also meet head gardener Jo Downs. She's been working with Keith. She says it's his vision that she then tries to put in place. So she explained they've got 2 vegetable gardens, 2 cut flower gardens, a rose garden, a herb garden, an orchard.
Yeah.
And her background is in ecology. So she's all about improving the biodiversity. So when they arrived, she was saying, she described it as having no worms, no snails. And now they've got wildlife galore. So
exactly.
It's a good team, isn't it? Because he's got the real design eye and Glenn as well. They've got that background. I'm sure Jo's got plenty of design knowledge as well, but she's got the ecology side. She has. So sort of marrying those 2 visions together makes for a really spectacular place.
Exactly, and it was spectacular. It was just perfect. And there was even this little Jubilee garden that they'd created, but they'd created it with a twist of really going for climate
drought-tolerant plants.
Yeah, climate-friendly plants, so drought-tolerant. So there was all sorts in little nooks and crannies and cracks in the paths. So there was, I think there was Origeron carventianus, there was a golden marjoram, there was thrift, as we know it. So lots of different plants, and I quite liked it actually as a Jubilee garden.
Yeah,
I liked the change. It wasn't what I thought a Jubilee garden would look
fantastic.
Like, so I loved it.
They also had the Verbena bonariensis.
Oh, of course, yes, that will haunt you.
That will haunt me. And then the scabious moon dance as well.
Very nice plants. Oh, and also we must not forget the Salvia nactvlinda. I hope I said that correctly. Really nice deep purple that was contouring the beds.
I missed that.
Oh, no, you can't have missed that. You need to have a look at that.
Well, do you want to hear a little love story?
Oh, do tell me. Yes.
Yeah. So Keith and Glenn have known each other since they were 9.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
That's amazing.
Apparently Keith was at school and Glenn had just started at the school, and the teacher asked the class who believes in God. And Glenn said he was ambivalent because his mother had always taught him to only believe in things you can see. And so he was kind of, I don't believe in God, but I don't not believe in God. So he was sort of on the fence about it. And then in the break time, all the other kids jumped on him. And apparently Keith describes himself as having been the same size at 9 as he is now.
Oh my god!
So he was able to wade in there and save Glenn. And Glenn says apparently that was the moment he knew Keith was the one for him.
Oh,
isn't that lovely? And for Keith, amazing. It took a bit longer till they were 12.
Till they were 12. Okay,
that's when Keith fell for Glenn. So they've been together for over 60 years.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that adorable?
I mean, that is just true love. That's amazing.
It really is a lovely story, isn't it?
Yeah.
They together started, do you know the closed shop Anthropology?
Yes.
Yeah, that's their brainchild.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Wow. Very, very nice.
And also, have you heard of Urban Outfitters?
Yes, I have.
Glenn was former CEO of that.
Wow.
Well. Corsley House isn't often open to the public, apparently. They did a day back on the 9th of September through Perennials. Do you remember Perennials, that horticultural charity that Alan Titchmarsh is president of? The Laskett, is it the Laskett garden that I went to visit with a friend?
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
So they had a day open this year through that and also through the NGS, but that's finished for this year, but they will be open again through both of those next year, so keep an eye on those.
Great.
But they also use their garden for charity events and things like that. So
lovely.
There's a nice video on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it, where Keith is talking about the house. and a little bit about the garden, but he says how he truly loves the UK and the British humour. So he knew he wanted to live here, but he wasn't sure how he and Glenn would be received in sort of deepest, darkest countryside.
Oh, interesting.
And he said he needn't have worried, because as soon as they turned up, suddenly people were popping around with homemade jams, with some honey that they had produced at home. Another came with a pie. And
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Of all the places they've lived, they've never felt as welcome as where they are now in Wiltshire.
That's perfect. I'm very happy.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Monty's by his coal frames. He's got a mix of plants that he's not sure what to do with. His own little nursery, really. How lovely is that?
Very, very nice. I mean, I have had that once or twice where there's been 2 plants maximum I haven't known what to do with, and so they've just kind of shriveled up a little bit in the greenhouse because I've kind of forgotten about them.
Yes, I can well imagine that. That's happened with a lot of creeping thyme, hasn't it?
No, just it never worked. I promise you, it just never worked.
But he has this hydrangea quercifolia, which he completely forgot he had.
Yeah, it needs potting up.
It needs potting up.
Yeah.
Then he wheelbarrows over from his nursery to an area he used to have as a pond, which he says, he holds his hands up and says it just never actually works. So he's created it now as kind of nursery beds.
I've always thought that having nursery beds sounds really fun to have. You just
That'd be so lovely.
Beds full of stuff, and the plants really can root in properly.
Oh, it'd be a dream,
big
wouldn't
roots.
It? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, he was adding in a whole load of Philadelphus cuttings that were pretty good sized plants already, but he wanted to grow them on a bit bigger before he put them out into the savage world beyond.
Then we meet Sophia Gray on her allotment in Swindon, where she grows cut flowers.
She does, and huge amounts from seed.
Whoa.
I mean, she had all sorts
flourishing,
of
wasn't it?
Yeah, it did look like the most AI created photo that you'd see passing on Instagram, and you'd be like, okay, that is too perfect.
Yeah.
And kind of scroll past.
Everything was in flower.
Colours. Yeah, everything was in flower. Like she timed that section on Garden as well perfectly.
I wonder if they were wanting to come and film and they were waiting. And then she's
like,
come now, okay.
no, this second, right this second.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay.
But she's only been growing for about 4 years, and she started it on her maternity leave. And she talks about some of the plants that she's got there. Did you pick any of those up?
Yeah, I mean, she had lots of things. She had Cupid's dart, that was really pretty. In the polytunnel, she had some annual phlox, which was beautiful, kind of creamy yellow, which is a gorgeous colour. I love that.
I love when she was at the polytunnel, she said she feels her people have been keeping a secret from her about how much easier it is to grow undercover. It's like a conspiracy. Poor Sophia.
Oh, I do feel for her.
This is how you grow things?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She has beautiful zinnias in there as well. Then I think in another spot there were, I mean, this is her favourite plant, and I am on board with her. The Snapdragons, Madam Butterfly Cherry Bronze. Very, very pretty. Gorgeous ruffle to them as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that they change colour through the season is just nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And then she said that Achillea Colorado is one of the easiest, which I can put my hand up and go, yes, it is. It's the easiest plant to grow in the world. It deals with everything, and it gives you perfectly straight stems.
She said it's good for beginners. Easy to grow from seed, it's perennial, flowers in its first year.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally there was a beautiful wall of sweet peas, which is obviously gorgeous. And then she saves the seed, and she has to have a specifically red coloured string.
Yes,
to
very organised.
Very organised.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. She had her little son with her as well. Apparently he loves picking the flowers, so when she turns her back he'll have picked a flower that she's been growing for something special. Oh gosh, can you imagine? You want to be encouraging but also don't take that one. Anyway,
I could just see your face if I was there. You just look at me, you can give me these eyes of darts and thunder and lightning. Sometimes I'm like, okay, moving out of scene, moving to stage right now.
Start stepping out.
Yeah.
And she makes an interesting point where she says she doesn't feel there's the diversity within the industry, and describes imposter syndrome as a result of that, which I just thought was interesting to hear that that's something she's been experiencing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's improving at all for her. I think she'd be very interesting to talk to find out how things are progressing on that front.
Absolutely, because she is able to create the most beautiful allotment, and I'm like, where do you start with doing that?
Yeah.
And so I'm amazed that she feels that imposter syndrome, but it goes to that whole thing of even CEOs of huge enterprises, huge businesses feel imposter syndrome.
But despite how Sophia's feeling, she said she really has enjoyed making friendships at the allotment and being involved in the growing. And then she talks about Linda, who's someone she's met through the allotment and through the growing. So we hear that often, don't we? It's about the sort of community side as well.
Exactly.
And she says at the end, I can honestly say gardening has changed my life. Well, Sophia has done an interview in Gardens Illustrated where she talks a bit more about what she's up to. I'll put a link to that. It's a really nice interview with her. And also she's part of the Flowers from the Farm group. You know that one?
Yeah.
A number of the cut flower growers are part
Lovely.
And on that she's called Sophia Grows. And she's called Sophia Grows on all her social media as well.
Great stuff.
Monty's pruning the raspberries. Apparently we should tie ours back.
We should. We have one autumn fruiting one summer. I would go out and have a look to see if we have any autumn raspberries.
Right.
I would like to know if we do.
Yes.
Blink,
I
blink.
shall let you know. Blink.
Yes. So yeah, there's the whole cutting back. Autumn raspberries are cut back later.
Yeah.
And the summer ones, he's kind of getting rid of those older shoots and then tying up the fresher ones nicely with string on nice tension wire.
And then he's studying his box tree, which has the boxed caterpillar.
Different, not box blight, box caterpillar.
He had the blight, and so he got rid of everything apart from some in the pots, and now he has the caterpillar, though he can't see any signs of them at the moment, so he's not going to do anything until next year. He's going to monitor.
You'll see. And he's going to repot all of the big cones, which I thought, how are you meant to repot those huge pots?
I'm never, ever going to have box. It's too stressful.
It is far too stressful.
Yeah, so I'm just forgetting about box.
Yeah.
Next we go with Frances to Cornwall, and this is all about designing gardens for pollinators using technology.
Yeah.
And this is the brainchild of Alexandra Daisy Ginsburg. She's an artist, and she is working with ecologists and gardeners to develop this Pollinator Pathmaker project. Yes. It's an online tool which designs planting schemes from the perspective of a pollinator, really, rather than from our perspective. So to maximise benefiting pollinators.
Exactly, yeah. So you can go on to... I tried it out, actually, because I thought, well, I'm going to try this out.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting. So I created myself a long border, which was quite nice, actually. I mean, very deep long border. It was about 3 meters by 10 meters. But I thought, I want to have something long. So we'll try that out. And I went for alkaline soil, clay, and sunny, very exposed, not sheltered whatsoever. And then I wanted bold, lots of different species, and it came up with this plant, which was actually rather beautiful. And there was Liatris in there. I can't remember the other names of them because there was literally a whole list of plants. It's like, okay, this is very interesting.
Yeah, well, she's been using it, using a village called Constantine in Cornwall as kind of her guinea pig. So there are some villagers there who've joined the research and have created their own pollinator patches. And then they're logging the results. So we had a couple, Phil and Becky. They show their algorithm designed garden, and they are saying they have so many pollinators as a result. And then we also meet Elphie and Bobbie. They have that front garden that Frances walked past.
Yes.
And Elphie begins to say that they had, basically it was a patch of mud with a grid. And that's when you go on to the software, that's basically what you get is a grid, don't you? And it gives you planting in a grid. It reminds me a bit of, do you remember in the early days when we were planning our garden, we came across Garden on a Roll. And it's this guy who's company, basically you will decide what style of planting you want to go for. So say you wanted a prairie bed. You give again the dimensions. He will send you a long sheet of paper that's the size of your bed.
Compostable.
compostable. So you're going with a no dig. So you've got your compost, you lay this paper on top, and on the paper it marks where you should place all the plants, and then he also sends you the plants.
Yes.
So he sends you the little small pots of these, not plug plants, a bit bigger, but the plants. Yeah. And then you plant them, dig a hole in the paper where it's marked, and you plant them. It kind of reminded me of that, but this is a grid. So it's less, his is more sort of, well, some are here, with a bunch of few there, we'll put some over there. You know, it's a bit more random, whereas this is very grid-like. So you'll have 3 of your Liatris in one grid square. And
then some Tithonias.
And you'll have a bit of repetition of that through.
Yeah, exactly. And you can actually choose if you want more repetition or if you want more kind of different species in there, if you want fewer species. And then you can get your pollinator view of it, which I think is very, very cool actually to see. You forget what it looks like for pollinators, don't you?
Oh, this is where you can see the colour that it shows.
Yeah, the colour that it shows through the eyes of
So, for example, they can't see red, but they can see ultraviolet.
No, not particularly well. Yeah. Well, that's a bee, for example. They can't see red particularly well.
So blues and yellows are good for bees.
Love blues and yellows and purples, all that kind of violet-y tones. They love those. They really pop. So yeah, I thought it was quite cool. I'm on the, what is the saying? I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the fence. I'm very much perched on the fence at the moment about the idea, because it kind of takes away from gardening in my eyes, and the happiness that I get from learning about plants that I know that pollinators will love, but that I do also like myself a bit, because I mean I do like to have something nice to look at a bit, but I also get, of course, for pollinators, so of course I'll put them first as much as possible.
Absolutely.
But I kind of enjoy making it work and going, okay, that didn't work, right, next year we're going to put that in or try this. And
I would say I'm sitting next to you on the fence as well. I can't.
You can't. It's a very thin fence.
What are you trying to say?
Pick your side, lady.
Really rude.
No, I'm joking. You can sit next to me on the fence.
Cheers, mate.
Come next to me. Have a cup of tea.
Thank you, darling. Because I can't quite get my head around it. I wonder if I need to speak more with Alexandra and ask a few more questions, because at the moment I can't. So basically, if I was given a list of all the pollinator plants that exist, the list of plants that are really good for pollinators, and then I knew what I suppose is what it's doing. It's telling you, yes, obviously, what type of soil, how exposed the site is. What was the other thing? The pH. And then whether you wanted to go with bold and so on. So I'd like to know the plants that are good for those areas. I'm less keen on having a grid that I then plant to, because I would want to do my thing with the plants. You know, take my own design, have my own design of where the plants went, like you do when you're gardening. That's, I think, when you say it's not gardening, that it's still gardening if what you want is a load of plants. But for you, and I think also for me, you know, you want to have your hand in where things go. So, but I wonder if there's a reason, because she was also working with Dr Christopher Kaiser-Bunbury, who's an ecologist at Exeter University. So with all this knowledge from these various experts in the field, do they know, for example, that a bee likes to go from a stachys, and when it's finished with the stachys, it would like to go to a verbascum. So you need to have your stachys next to it.
Okay, you know, what you mean.
This is, I'm wondering if this is something that is known. Yeah. The path that they take is like that. Perhaps that's what the whole point of this is. And perhaps I've just really misunderstood it, because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, a list would be great. So I know I could pick and choose from this list, but there must be more to it. To be involving so many great minds, to be creating algorithms and a whole piece of software, there must be more to it than I'm understanding.
There's a lot of fun creating it on the software. It does this whole 3D stuff, and I'm like, wow, that is very cool. But yeah, for me also, it's the whole experience. I love learning about it and reading up in books about a plant or seeing it online and going, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. What does that do? What's it like? Do bees like it, or is it just purely... Because there are some flowers which are just purely ornamental, and to be honest, I don't particularly like them.
Yeah.
Because I know that they're not doing anything.
Right.
There's no purpose.
Yeah.
So I enjoy looking them up, then going to the garden centre, getting them, going, I think I might get 3 of these and 2 of these, so we can get 5, and 5 is an uneven number, which is perfect. Love doing all that stuff. So yeah, I would like to know more about it.
I have other questions as well, like how do they tag the bees?
Oh yes,
how do they know
the
number? I.e., someone shouted out, "I saw pink 53." How do they know what
where's the
number the pink is?
I was interested because I saw pink. I was like, oh my gosh, how did they get the pink on there?
Yeah, I wonder if we could chat with Alexandra. Mons is struggling with the idea of an app.
Yeah.
He prefers the more sort of hands-on approach, but...
He's like me.
Yeah, as he says, if it gets more people involved, then it's a good thing, which, of course, there's no right or wrong way of doing any of this.
No,
so
absolutely not.
Why
It's
not?
live and let it live. Just garden.
Yeah,
that's
just
all
garden.
Just garden.
He's got a Chinese goat horn willow. It doesn't flower for decades, but it did for him within 3 years.
Oh my gosh, so lucky. And so he got all the little seeds and everything, and has loads of little baby plants.
Well, did you see the size of those saplings 2 years on? That was madness.
Gosh,
why were they so big?
Madness. They were just huge. So he decided to then go off to his huge oak, which was finally acorning.
27 years he's had that.
Yeah, and then potted up a whole load of the acorns, taking off the caps, obviously.
And you want the fresh green ones, don't you? The brown ones are no good.
Be careful.
And then you pop them in with the pointy end at the top and the flatter bottom at the bottom.
Yes, and just don't need anything specific, just water, sun, all that stuff.
Then we go to North Somerset, and this is Chris Daghorn in his pocket wilderness garden in Weston-Super-Mare.
It is, yes.
This is the one I would have liked to have had a drone shot of, because I couldn't quite picture what was where and where was what.
It was quite difficult to tell, actually, because he seemed to have a lot going on there in that patch, which apparently wasn't that amazing when he got it.
And isn't that big, apparently. But it had lots of nooks and crannies in it, didn't he?
He seemed to have a woodland area with kind of shrubs and shadiness.
The thing he first shows us, so he explains how he's always loved gardening and bringing wildlife into his garden.
Yeah.
But he does say that, having said that, he's not green-fingered at all, which I don't believe for a minute, because...
I do not believe you take that back, sir. You take it back, sir. Because his garden was gorgeous.
So he says his garden has to thrive on benign neglect. He does low-maintenance gardening, and it's all about rewilding.
Yeah, exactly. Which I thought, now there is something that we were doing on purpose.
That's right.
We were rewilding on purpose, people.
That's why it looks very rewilded. He moved into the place in 2018, and he said although it wasn't how he wanted it to be at that time, he could see the potential. And he saw a video of a garden in Oregon where they trapped all the rainwater.
Yeah,
and then
from the roofs
and went into the garden. So he's done the same sort of thing. So the water goes off the roof into the gutter, and then into this water butt, and then into a kind of a bog system where it's filtered, and then it heads off into the pond. So his I loved this little bog. It was a trough, and he had in there. Did you get the plants that he had in there?
So he had some common yellow sedge, he had some sphagnum moss, haircat moss, ragged robin, mini willow even in there.
Tiny willow,
And I loved this. This looked so therapeutic when he got the tweezers out. I was taking out the little pieces.
Real mindfulness.
And I just thought, I could so spend time doing that in a little area.
He did describe this really as a higher maintenance patch for the garden, because if you don't get in with the tweezers to pull all the little seedlings out of unsavouries, it will just be taken over, because loads of things will just flourish in that environment.
But I can imagine doing a little bit of that each day is going to keep your mind very sane.
Can you imagine? And I loved it when he was explaining about the sphagnum moss, how it slowly decomposes into peat, about 1 millimetre a year. Which is it's a carbon sink in itself, as small as it is, but the thought of making your own peat is really very appealing, isn't it? When we hear so much about how we need to protect the peat bog lands.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I would need to add this to my dream garden. I'd need to have an area of a huge kind of damp area, which I knew kind of got flooded, and I could just have this huge kind of
peat bog,
and just let it do its thing, and then that would make me very happy, knowing I'm fixing so much carbon in one area.
No one's thought of that for their dream garden, having their own peat bog. That now you think about it, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have to have that in my dream garden.
I think now that's going to be added to mine.
And I'd have like a huge pair of tweezers and they'd come and go pinch, like chopsticks.
And then he also has a gorgeous pond, and he does lots of wildlife in there: damselflies, dragonflies, frogs, and then he has these little stickleback, good for getting the mozzie larvae.
Yeah, exactly.
We rely on the frogs for that, really.
We do, and I think they're doing a pretty good job actually, because I haven't seen it. The last time I saw the pond,
0 larvae.
I didn't see any larvae, and that was kind of height.
Yeah, height of larvae season. There's none at all. It's really good. It's doing very well.
Very, very good. Happy with that.
And then he talks about some of the plants that we consider weeds. So there's the broadleafed willow herb, some bramble, and he doesn't remove those. He likes them, but he does remove the grass that's coming in, which is just...
That can be a very annoying.
Yeah, that can just go off on one, can't it?
Yeah, it can be so difficult. And then next to it, or at least in another bit, there was a wildflower area.
Yes.
Really pretty as well. And that had oxeye daisies, ragwort, teasels in there. Oh, and also Old Man's Beard, the clematis.
Yeah. Which again is gorgeous, but again, it's often described as a concern, isn't it? It can just take over.
But it seemed to be in control and just was working in the garden without looking kind of like, I'm taking over the place.
Well, what was less in control, and I loved this, he said you don't always know what you're going to get. When he ordered a blackthorn and then he got a cherry plum, he said it was a happy accident as the plums are delicious, but that shouldn't be happening, should it, when you order from a nursery?
That is not...
You want to be getting the right plant. And then he also had a trail cam on the tree at the back, and he saw badgers and foxes, which reminded me, Sweetpea, I didn't tell you. One evening I was taking Hobbs out for her evening piddle, and
evening ablutions.
It was dark. I had the torch and I heard all this rustling, and I looked over, and just in amongst our beds was a badger.
Oh!
Just trundling around, not a care in the world. Yeah, didn't really seem to care that I was there, flattening everything as it went. It was very sweet, though.
Excuse me. Don't you flatten. I do. I'm very happy to have a badger, though.
Good.
That makes me happy. Lovely.
And then at the end, Chris explains that he has autism spectrum disorder, which means his mind is very busy from time to time. And so he needs a space in which he can relax. And he says he doesn't get that from formal gardens. But he needs something which is very intricate and complex, and that allows him to focus and slow his brain down and relax. And so his wilderness, really, that he's created provides that for him right on his doorstep.
Exactly. And those tweezers with the moss as well will be so good, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, Chris seems to have 2 websites. One is regenerata.co.uk, and the tagline on that is Your Land Reborn, helping British landowners restore biodiversity one simple step at a time. The other is How to Rewild, and Chris is the founder and author of this, and it's described as a free biodiversity advice and information hub. So I'll put links to both of those on our website.
Very interesting.
They do look very interesting. There's some really good stuff on both of those.
Okie dokes, I will have a look at that.
The Don talks about sump gardens. If you're going to use sphagnum moss, do make sure you source it from a sustainable source.
Yes, very important.
And then he's looking at his amaryllis. They're all foliage now, but he's going to let them go dormant. So he's putting them somewhere cool and dark and leave them there for a few months. And then the foliage will eventually die back. And then in November, he'll feed them and water them, give them some light. And then the new stem should come up.
Exactly.
And then we're to jobs for the weekend.
Yes.
Harvest pears, deadhead and feed agapanthus, and propagate house leeks.
Yes, which is one of the easiest things in the world. It's so much fun to do.
Yeah. Well, you need to come home to do that.
Yes, I do.
So, Sweetpea, what's your favourite plant?
Was the creamy yellow phlox.
Right.
Sophia had. I thought it was
in her polytunnel.
Yeah, I thought it was just so beautiful. The colour. I do love the creamy yellow.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty colour. I love it so
Yeah,
much.
that's a good choice. Mine's
What was
actually
yours?
right from the beginning in Monty's garden, the Astrantia shaggy. I thought that was so pretty, those flowers.
Yeah, Astrantias are really gorgeous. I love them.
And then what's your top takeaway?
Having a bog garden.
Of course it is.
Just, I thought it was very, very cool.
Yeah.
I was also going to talk about the awesome hilly lawn.
Were you? Where you do your extreme croquet?
No, my extreme mowing. Hey, hey, hey. Yes.
Well,
and
mine
yours?
was from Keith's garden, and it's those paths. I thought they were just absolutely
the mosaic
beautiful.
paths.
And actually, on one of our upcoming chit chats, we talk with a guest about a beautiful cobbled path that that guest has created.
Do listen out for that one.
Do listen out for that one. And then Monty at the end, he's pruning his shrub roses, tidying them up a bit.
Clipping back.
And really, it's to stop potential for root rot, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And that was it, Sweetpea.
That is it. And we're not going to be here next week either because
No.
there's no Gardeners World.
This isn't on, so that's only 2 Gardeners World this month.
Yeah, don't blame us. It's
when
not our
you
fault.
really needed all 4, didn't you, at this
very
stressful time?
Very stressful
Well,
time.
the next episode is the 26th of September. That's episode 25.
is.
Monty has plans for interest and colour in his garden next year, from adding a rose to the new dog house to planting daffodil bulbs and sowing sweet pea seeds. He also shares his best solutions for tackling plant pests in his greenhouse.
Okay.
Rachel investigates a quiet revolution in the world of floristry at a flower farm with a difference in Oxfordshire. Adam has a privileged view of a spectacular garden in North Yorkshire where intricate planting designs blend seamlessly with the landscape. And there's a visit to the flower beds of Glinderbourne. Glinderbourne? Which are helping create authentic colours for their operatic costumes, plus 2 retired police officers who have joined forces to create a beautiful space in Devon.
Oh, I'm interested by the 2 police officers.
Of course you are. You wanted to be you wanted to be a spy when you were younger.
I wanted to be a spy. I wanted to be James Bond.
Till you realised he killed lots of people. You didn't like that bit, did you?
Well, mainly I just didn't want to get hurt. It looked very painful.
If you want to get in touch, here's how.
If you have any questions, feedback or comments, you can get in touch with us on our contact page at notjustagarden.co.uk or via our email, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com, or you can even find us on Facebook or Instagram and come visit us there and hit the follow button. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world if you could post a 5-star review. It really helps our podcast climb up the pile. If you didn't enjoy it, bigger polls from us, and please don't. For more Sweetpea and Bear content, including videos, blogs, guest garden lists, early access to episodes, podcast outtakes, which are great, and community chats, come join us on our Patreon. You can find a link on our website.
Well, Sweetpea, going to be saying goodbye. Have you got a nice evening
Goodbye
set
again.
up?
Yes, I will be watching either The Office or The Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't know. I'll be watching something.
You'll be
and
watching
then going to
something.
bed and then waking up and revising.
Waking up really early, revising, then off to
6
lectures.
o'clock. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope you sleep well tonight, Sweetie Pie. And
I hope you do too.
I'm sure I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Love you, darling.
Love you, Mummy.
Bye-bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mummy Bear.